Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. I hope Christmas and New Year treated you all well. It's Yani Mayo here and I'll be answering some questions that I got through Instagram on my Courtside Reporter journey. So, kung may gusto pang humabol dyan, I'll try to answer them also in the comment section or on TikTok, wherever you guys ask them. I'll be happy to get right to that. So, dito muna tayo sa Instagram. Alright, let's do this! Tada May asked, what is your feeling when you're in the dugout after a lost game? Good questions. My feeling personally, I get sad also because, you get to see these guys train and give it their all, especially in a game. And then you lose after. Everyone is forlorn. There's like a downcast in the dugout and it's just pretty quiet, eerie. You can just hear everyone fixing their things, changing, fixing the towels. There isn't much talking and you can see their faces. Pero there was this one time, I think it was the first loss that we had and I was getting teary-eyed and then si JD Tungkab, he was like, oh, ba't ka umiiyak? As in from across the room and I was kinda embarrassed. Okay, so hindi pala tayo iiyak. Okay, kayang-kaya pa pala to. Game. Parang ganun yung feeling. I want to be a CSR someday too, but I'm not into sports that much. Is that possible to become one pa rin? Mac and Ralph, you asked the right person because when I auditioned, I didn't know much about the sports that we had to report on. Although I was sporty when I was young because my dad put me in a lot of sports, badminton, volleyball, speed stacks. I also did hula dancing and ballet class. Ang dami nangyari in my childhood. When I went in, I knew that I had to learn it. And I was determined to. So, I contacted my friends who were into basketball, volleyball, and I had nights where kasama ko lang sila and then they would teach me, they would tell me about the players. So it's just really your initiative to learn and grow and the extent of how you want to take that, of how far you want to take that. So it's really possible, but you have to put in the work. You can't be a courtside reporter and not know what's happening in the game, right? You are going to learn that and you should have the heart to do so. To give justice to the game, to give justice to the players. Mac and Ralph actually gave me a lot of questions, so this is the next one. How do you balance your ACADS and being a courtside reporter po noon? Sis, di ko rin alam. My gosh, you know what? By God's grace, I was able to do it, my guys. But it took a lot of sleepless nights. I was able to graduate with honors. And I just remember all the times where buti na lang 24/7 bukas yung library malapit sa Marine Science Institute. I think it was the Science Library. Tapos kasama ko yung mga friends ko. Shout out to Sam, to Alex, Tita Jessie, Samir, mga kasama ko at that time. Minsan si Eliza, Cleo. So, those are all of the friends that I was able to study with doon. And minsan natutulog na rin ako doon. So, nagde-dinner, nag-order na lang kami and really try and get our studies going. It helps to be with studious people. Thankfully, my friends, are able to motivate me. It helps being with a group. And kasama kasi yun sa priorities ko eh. ACADS has always been my priority ever since I could imagine. I'm the eldest child in an Asian household. So, ganun talaga. Di naman sa ganun talaga, pero I felt the need to excel in academics also. So, even though I take up different stuff, I find a way to balance everything. I'm not the best person to tell you guys about time management because I really didn't sleep that much. And if you see my IGs, if you were there at the time in Instagram, my IG stories, like my eye bags were like deep, guys. You could bury someone under my eyes. It was so deep, yo. And I would break out. I was dehydrated. My health, unlike now, was not really good at the time. So, be better than me. Be better. Next, can you be a courtside reporter din po ba for other schools even though you're not from that university? So, I get a lot of questions related to this. First of all, in the audition process, when you submit your audition video, you need to be part of a UAAP school. So, unfortunately, you can't be a courtside reporter for the UAAP if you're not part of a UAAP school. But, you can be a courtside reporter for a different UAAP school as long as you are part of the UAAP. I feel like I'm being redundant. Pero kunyari, Jaime is from UP and then he courtside reported for UE as well as Migs Gomez. So, mga ganon. Bailey's Akot is from UST and he courtside reported for NU. So, you can do that as long as you're from a UAAP school. Underscore John Yu said, were you ever biased towards UP during your time? You know, guys, I think it's hard not to be biased to the school you're reporting for because we really create a bond with the players, the cheerleaders, the alumni, the people in that school. Like, whenever I talk to Jaime about it and the other courtside reporters, they would say that they really love the school that they're reporting for. And as we spend more time with them, we gravitate towards them. So, I'm from UP. Add that on top of me courtside reporting for UP. And there you have it. You have an answer, my friends. Of course! I love UP. But yeah, that was me when I was a student. Ano pong feeling na maging close sa players? The first time I stepped into the UP court where they train, Epkai, I was pretty starstruck. I was like, whoa, that's bright. Whoa, that's Kobe. Actually, I was more starstruck with the seniors ng UP team because grabe yung journey nila, guys. You should listen to their old interviews. Yung mga interviews nila where they look back. Pinaghirapan nila yung position kung nasaan yung UP ngayon. And I admire them for it. Paul Desiderio, Jun Manzo, mga ganun. Jerson was beside me when I first came in and I was so starstruck. I was, whoa. And then, he asked me, why are you so starstruck? And then Troy, one of the managers at the time, said, it's because you guys are like this now. Syempre, hindi naman ganon at the time before. But you were able to amass this following and everything. And, yeah, understandably so. Pero after that, after the first meeting, when you get to know them, I was just like, okay, cool guys. Very energetic. It's fun to be close with people. It's just regular getting to know new people, having new friends. And I enjoy kasi mingling. So, it was very fun for me. Funniest moment as a courtside reporter. You know what? There are so many memorable moments as a courtside reporter that I can't pinpoint the funniest. I think every moment was really enjoyable for me. I guess whenever I'm with the cheer dance team or the men's volleyball team, kasi sobrang laugh trip nila, guys. Whenever nagzuzumba yung men's volleyball team at hindi ko pa sila nakakasama, albeit promising them na makakasama ko sila mag-zumba. Bucket list ko yun, guys. Makasama yung UP men's volleyball team mag-zumba. It's so hilarious and the coaches just let them do that as their warm-up before a game. I mean, before training, in the dugout then, before a game, nagzuzumba sila. And I just love it. I love it. How do you prep if you have little knowledge about a specific sport? Again, I would like to tell you guys that you have to study about it. Ako, I read the rule book, the FIBA rule book for basketball. I have the volleyball FIVB rule book. And I really found like my friends who were knowledgeable about the sport. I asked the student managers and the teams when I was there na sa volleyball. They had to tutor me. As long as you're open to learn and you find ways to get that knowledge within you, you can prepare for that specific sport. So, yun, for me it was the student managers, my friends, watching YouTube videos, watching previous games. Just look for different avenues. Audition process or tips. A lot of people message me about the audition process. Ganito yon. It differs per season. It depends on what they need from the courtside reporters in that season. So in our season, we had more. And that was the content creation side of it, the social media side. So we were also asked to come up with a concept and do that on the spot, ganon. So, it depends. The year before that, I remember someone saying that they had a written exam, which we didn't have. So, it really differs on what they need from the reporters at the time. So, for the tips, if you guys want to know like a bit about the journey, by the way, I posted a video essay on my courtside reporting and the things that I learned from there that I feel like is value adding for people who don't want to audition then but want to learn about what I took from the whole journey. You can listen to that. You can watch that. But tips for auditioning, I think that's what you're asking. Be open to learning. I always say that. My gosh. Be open to learning. Have fun, most especially because I'm really grateful I dropped the whole expectation thing and went in with a fun mindset. Kasi I really enjoyed the audition process because of that. And every time I succeeded, went to the next round, it was so enlightening. I was so elated because I didn't give myself the stress of needing to get that spot. I was more of, I wanted to learn, and the audition process itself is already a way to do so. So, I guess another tip that I would give you is to be determined and to know the areas where you need to work on. If you need more work in speaking, communication, tutukan nyo yan. If you need more knowledge about the sport, how about your camera presence? Those are different aspects that you need to think of as a courtside reporter and try to make time to strengthen those aspects. Nick says, do you train yourself to do your own write-ups? We are trained by ABS-CBN Sports in Action at the time. But when you're there now on the spot, you have to do your own write-ups. Prior to the game, we have a pre-prod meeting, pre-production meeting with the panel, the anchors, and the analysts. Tapos, sometimes they tweak our reports. There was one report that one anchor for me was like, nope, change it. But he said it in a very nice way. So, in my head, at least I had the training prior because I was already a host. I was a junior jock from Magic 89.9. I study broadcast communication and it's not easy. So when he scrapped my report, I was more determined, I was more driven to get another good report done than nervous and anxious because wala na akong report for pre-game. Yes, you write your own reports. People get so surprised whenever I tell them that. They ask me, do you write your own reports? Yes, we do. That is my words in that paper. And it's easier to talk about it in front of a camera if you were the one who wrote it, diba? You don't need to memorize it. Nasa ulo mo na. Mick, another question is, what was the hardest obstacle in becoming a UAAP courtside reporter? So, with the term becoming, I assume that was the audition process. I think the hardest obstacle is, for me personally, learning more about the sport. But in a mental aspect, it was to not get too caught up with the stress or the pressure that comes with the audition process. Kasi when I get anxious, when I get scared, afraid, it blinds me into not enjoying what I'm doing, into not being confident in what I can do and what I'm willing to do to get to that spot. So, it's a mental game also, more than the knowledge that you have. It's also how you conduct yourself, how mentally, emotionally strong you are. So, just be wary of that. At Hollaberry says, who does your makeup? We have a hair and makeup artist, Ate Mai. Thank you so much for always making us look the best so that we don't have to worry. It's really fast-paced, guys. When we get there, hair, makeup, pre-production, we interview the teams, we get a feel of the event, the game. At Glee Rosales, hey Glee! How's the mental prep for all the games? I like to be in high spirits. entering any kind of game. I don't like na nauuna yung fear because that really takes away from all the fun of it and the journey. So, although I don't have my own mental prep, I have this tradition or ritual na I have to dance before a game. And it just loosens up all the muscles and takes away the anxiety. So, yan. Buti na lang may pa-music before the game. Okay, do I have to be from a UAAP school? Oh my gosh, I miss you. And yes, you have to be from a UAAP school to audition, as like I said a while ago. NCAA also has Courtside Reporters, guys. So, if you're part of an NCAA school and you like to hone yourself, go ahead. At Tidrisen, tips when writing your report, hashtag claiming it. Okay, I love the energy. Make it concise, but make it value-adding. Something that the fans don't know about yet. And that's one of the challenging parts kasi the fans know a lot. The fans have been there since day one for all of these players and all of the teams. So you really have to find an angle that when you report about it, someone beyond the screen goes, "Oh, that's good. I didn't know about that. Thank you for that." That really adds to the storytelling of the whole production of the whole game. So when you're reporting or writing your report, you have to look for the nooks and crannies that other people might not see. And that's trainable. One thing that I learned from Mama D, who was like our production mother at the time, is to keep all your senses open and to separate yourself from the emotions. Because when you're emotional, diba? I keep on repeating this. If you're afraid, if you're scared, if you're too into the game with all your emotions, you miss all of the objective things that you could be observing. So that was actually one of my challenges because I am empathetic and I get into the game very much so. So there was a time that they had to hold my hands and they had to calm me down. I learned naman later to eject myself and my feelings from what's happening in the game. Another tip then is to practice speaking or practice your reports prior to the game. Para when you're already in front of the camera, it's more like second nature. Hey Tasha says, is it true that the school chooses the courtside reporter? So in my time and in the previous seasons, it's not the school who chooses the courtside reporter, it's the broadcast team. Okay? We are part of the broadcast team. So at the time, we were part of Sports and Action. And the school didn't choose us. We audition kung sino nagba-broadcast ng games. And they pick. So, the school also learns afterwards kung sino yung courtside reporter. We attend the practice and we're like, oh, we're a courtside reporter. They're like, oh, okay, hi, nice to meet you. So, ganon. Usually, that's how it's done. But guys, remember all of these tips are from my experience. You might experience something different because the UAAP is restarting with the audition process ongoing, and this is your sign to go ahead and audition. If you're doubting yourself, just do it. You wouldn't know the outcome later on, right? You might learn something along the way. So the details are in One Sports. Check that out, and I think the journey would be really different and it would be super exciting since we're restarting the UAAP for season 84. Good luck, guys. Rooting for you all, and I'm excited to see the UAAP soon! Bye! Take care!